Hello, we're back. Soul Alive
Hey.
with Mimi and Erin. Say hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin. No, I'm kidding.
We think you're Grace.
Hi, Mimi.
All right, so all kidding aside, um, Erin's been doing my readings of the Akashic Records. And last episode, we had a few spirits around me, and two of them um, told Erin their names, which doesn't always happen. And one was a female and one was a male, I think. And I'll tell you, one odd thing happened, two odd thing happens. One thing at the show, one thing later. So we're doing this, and all of a sudden, towards the end, I start seeing this flashing light behind Erin, where a chair was in a picture, right? Yeah, right there. You get to see the pillow
Yeah.
under the picture. So that middle of the pillow, if you're watching this on YouTube, is yellow, but I started seeing it as a light that was going on and off. So when the recording was over, I said to Erin, why do you have a light in the corner like that? Is that to tell you like somebody's waiting to see you or what? She said, I don't have a light, right? Erin.
I was so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no light behind me.
And she went over, got it, showed me it was a pillow, and went, okay, they made contact. Somebody made contact. They are happy that you are finally recognizing them. And I said, boy, I believe it because I saw a light, not a pillow, and not like sunlight coming through the window and hitting it. No, this was like a flashlight going on and off. So yesterday, now I think that was Janira. That's the female. Yesterday, I hear this tapping, and we talked about tapping in my reading. Remember? We talked about tapping. And if I hear tapping or I start tapping, then it means this or whatever. So I'm sitting there and I'm hearing this tapping. And I get up, and here is this gigantic iguana on my front window. And I'm talking huge. I'm talking, you saw the pictures there, and I showed you, right? The
Yes.
video.
Yeah, you sent me a video. He was big. That was the whole window.
He was really like that must have been Saron appearing in the shape of a, I don't know, but like strange things are starting to happen. Like I'm here 21 years. I never had that happen before. So,
Yep,
um,
you're right, because I just had to look at my notes. And Ciron, the impulse was tapping.
yes,
That is exactly lines up.
right. Yes. So, yeah, that was interesting. So today, um, Erin's going to go over some things that have to do with life lessons, right?
Life situations.
Oh, life situations. There is a difference. You told me that once before.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you have for us tonight?
So tonight, we did your life lessons a couple episodes ago, and there was love and peace, I think.
Yes,
I have to
exactly.
look at notes.
Yeah, I did.
And coming through, and the way you're dealing with it is through your physical environment and
Yeah.
things going on physically around you. So
Mhm.
that was that one. This one, though, the situations is actually about things going on right now. So the life lessons are kind of over the lifetime and what's happening. But you had provided me with a couple things going on right now, and typically you're not going to give me anything that's going well. So it's things that are bothering you, and what I can do is look at those. Now, most of our situations that we have in our lives have to do with other people,
True.
which we can't really do much about. We can't do much about other people, but we can do something about knowing what energy we are bringing that is either allowing that to happen or even attracting it to happen.
Oh,
So that is part of that, being the divine creator of your own experience. everything comes to us because of us. And sometimes we're not creating the thing we want, but we probably don't even know that we're doing it.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on, like why this person just turned 90 degrees or whatever from what we had to an attacking, criticizing, angry person. And I don't know what I did. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm confused.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, also when you are starting to clear stuff, that can rattle other people's patterns. Because if you're starting to come more in alignment, if you're not used to you being in alignment, that can cause some issues. Now, I will go through. So the things that you gave me, we don't have to name names or anything, but there's somebody you can't see. So I don't know if you want to fill in the details
Mm-hmm.
and some accusation
Mm-hmm.
coming through. So that was one pattern. The second pattern that showed up was being, actually, you had mentioned this before, maybe, but like what one of the accusations was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, both of them.
Yeah.
And then the last one was somebody being mad at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one that came through about, actually having these accusations thrown at you, not the particular accusations, and then not being able to see somebody that you want to see.
Right.
That came through as a belief. So the blocker came through as a belief, and it's actually a genetic pattern from your paternal side from 3 generations ago.
Genetic pattern from my paternal
Yeah,
side.
so there's,
3 generations.
yep. So beliefs come through, and these are like things that we decide are going to be true, and we kind of deeply make them true. So with this one, the statement was history repeats itself.
That's
And
true. Yeah, that's
that
true.
is the deep,
Yeah.
there's a deep belief that history will repeat itself. Which the deeply felt belief causing dread and grief. It's like, oh, if this is going to happen again, it just has to happen again. Like that's a belief that has been ingrained in you genetically, hereditarily. So, yeah, the belief is the future will mirror the past. So there's a fear of change or an unconscious self-sabotage when promising things come around.
So when promising things come around, so are you saying when something good is supposed to happen that it gets sabotaged or I do something, not even
It
realize?
can, yeah, but unconsciously. So it's not that you're trying it. You're not trying to sabotage it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about because this was supposed to be something good.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little bit in and out. Yeah, but I can hear you. So that pillow is lighting up again. I know it's not doing it now. I'll let you know. I'm watching it. But yeah, something that was supposed to be a good opportunity turned into a horrible thing, just blew right up, and people not talking to each other. And like, I'm like, what just happened? Like I have no clue why it happened. I really don't. So that was strange. And I think the person involved, I think something about the situation triggered her to a past situation that was very hard. And that's what happened, but very unexpected, very unexpected. So, yeah, belief from a pattern, a genetic pattern, parental. That's striking a chord. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a lot of genetic patterns in my family, especially from my father. You know, I have a veil again on my face. I don't know why. Hold on. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I don't know if that'll help. We'll see if that'll help. Now it just wants to be there. No matter where I move. Okay, it's one of my spirits.
It looks like a veil.
I swear one of my spirit guides just wants to make sure I know they're there between the light and that. So,
You know,
okay.
it's got the lamp light behind me, and now there's the dog. Yeah, there's nothing lighting it up. There's no light coming through the window.
That's
And
fine.
the last Zoom I was on, which was just a regular business meeting, same setup, same time of day, nothing.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Well, I'm paying attention.
And it won't show on this video. I don't know if you watched the last recording. It wasn't on there.
I did, and it didn't show up.
No. And my screen glitched like an old TV screen, glitched up and down, which I've never seen happen. This is a high-tech HD camera.
Oh, really?
It didn't show up on you either. So no one's gonna believe us, but what's there? Is there?
I think one of my spirits is a troublemaker.
Yes, they're coming through. They definitely want you to know.
I know.
So yeah, so there is a need to disrupt a cycle. This history repeats itself cycle. Another thing that came up was around this is that possibly you can't clearly see your role in the family dynamic. It's unclear your emotional role, so you may be anticipating conflict, which is evoking shame, helplessness, the sense of injustice, perhaps estrangement from the maternal line. Paternal, I should say. Sorry, I said that wrong. Estrangement from the paternal
sense. Paternal makes more sense.
Yeah, that was the word I meant.
Sense of, so the role in the family dynamic, the sense of, what did you say? The sense of what? Belonging, or what my role is?
The role in the family dynamic emotionally. What is your role?
True, that is true, because I'm supposed to be the mother, which you would think is a position of respect, and I don't feel like I have that kind of a emotion coming towards me. I think I feel a lot of disrespect, just in little ways, like, for instance, Mother's Day. I have 3 daughters and a stepson, and I never know who or who not will send me a gift. It's not like every Mother's Day they all send me a gift. So one year the one girl will give me a gift, the next year she won't, and the other one. So it's like, I don't know. It's like really strange what goes on, and they're cool towards me. I feel they're cool. Like, it's not like they run up to me, give me a hug when they see me and stuff like that. And yeah, so I feel that. I feel that my role in the family dynamic is not exactly what I would like it to be. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about genetic patterns, parental, my father being adopted, he was also an only child, and the adoptee family, they would have been his aunts and uncles, wanted nothing really to do with him. So he spent his whole life trying to get approval from these family members. So that I could see that fitting. Definitely.
So then a couple questions. Where are you reliving the past? Are there emotions around the possibility of breaking family patterns?
Breaking family patterns in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah, I would say so.
I would think if I'm going to
Well,
break, yeah, if I have my choice, I am going to break some family patterns, but it would be in a good way. I hope.
yes.
Yeah, like right now, um, setting boundaries and using the word no is coming back with not being talked to by a couple people. And
Hmm.
also another person being a child being kept away from me. So I'm going through a lot of pain, and feeling lonely and cut off. I feel cut off from the family. And I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. It's just a person had a little breakdown. I don't even know why or whatever. And the other person didn't get her way and she always gets her way. So I finally set a boundary and she doesn't like it, you know? So I think that's going on.
That
Yeah, that's about changing. Usually I give in and I say yes to everything. I'm not doing that this time. Mm-mm. Nope.
it's going to have to, other people are going to have to be able to work through that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's their journey. They have to figure it out. And the repercussions of it aren't advantageous for them. Like it's not like they're going to be better off, you know. Um, no, because my husband and I have always been very supportive of our children in every way, including financial. They were in trouble, whatever. So for any one of them to treat, and I'll say us this way, because the way they treat me is the way they're treating him, because he's very hard about it too. Um, no, it's a very painful situation. I've gone through a gamut of emotions the last few weeks, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe my spirit guides will help me with it.
They did have a couple messages today.
Oh, good.
Yep. So the second pattern, so like I said, everything that came through got put into three situations essentially that are energy they made the the situation might not seem related, but the energy behind them was. So, but these two are related because they're the two things that you were being accused of.
Mhm.
And that came through with unjustified karma,
Okay.
which came into your life in this present life between the age of 20 and 25
So this is
around being
for something
yeah,
I
so unjustified karma, like
did.
yeah, but it was about around family caretaking.
Okay, that's interesting.
It was
I
something well-intentioned but misaligned choices in the family emotional boundaries,
huh. Well, I did.
unclear self-doubt, which led to over-involvement.
Well, I did finally leave the family in 68 because they didn't want me to leave. They wanted me to stay there and make money and, contribute. And I had finally married somebody and got out of there, and that was in 68. And then as far as caretaking, I can't think of anybody I was caretaking.
Not necessarily you, but it was within the family caretaking. So it had to do around the emotional boundaries.
Well, they
But
did.
what perpetuated
Yeah.
was the doubt and mistrust in emotionally intimate roles.
They did, I don't think they didn't like my choice of husband. So that was a big thing. Um, you know, and even if they were right, you're married, you want to stand by your husband if it's wrong. And you could say whatever you want, but you don't want anybody else to say anything. That's the way it is. So yeah, I was married to someone that they didn't like, and to the point where my one brother got married, and I was told I was invited to the wedding ceremony and reception, but my husband was not. So I said, well, then I can't go. I mean, that put me in a situation where I had to choose, right? And I had to
Yeah.
choose my
Yeah.
husband. Yeah. So that was very emotional. Yeah.
And your last situation is around the person who's mad at you right now,
That person, right?
who's not letting you see the other person, that person. And this had to do with a cord. So a cord is when you get attached at soul level to somebody else who's actually living right now. And this came on between age 30 and 35 at the third chakra, which is around your own self agency and choices. So the energy statement was obstruction.
Obstruction.
Yeah.
So the
And this
cord,
cord.
so yeah, explain the cord some more.
So yeah, there's cords and hooks are like somebody is energetically hooked into you and just kind of almost controlling your energy. The cord is a little lighter, but it's still like you have a rope tied between you two.
Oh, okay.
So it's you
Yeah,
never quite let
okay.
go.
I think I could visualize something that would go with that. Um,
Is
yeah.
there a person you can imagine?
Yeah, and not necessarily the cord attached to me, but attached to my husband. And um, I might be, in their view, coming in and disrupting that attachment, if that makes any
The
sense.
obstruction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the obstruction. And I think the cord is with the father and hers. That's what I think. And when I was 30 to 35, that was like 1978 to 1983. So I was in a bad marriage, in an abusive marriage, and but very attached to my husband. And he actually was my first husband that I married twice. So I really thought we were soulmates, and we hadn't seen each other for 10 years. And I thought, oh, he's mature. He changed, No, he did not. But so that was the energy that was going on those years. I had a connection that was so strong that no matter what he did, I forgave him, you know, until the last few years when I started doing vengeful things to get back at him. That was really,
Hmm.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I cheated on him. It's called revenge cheating. It's when your spouse cheats on you, and just for revenge, you have an affair. So I did that, and then you tell them about it because it's no fun if you don't tell them about it. And yeah, I put him in that situation, and the poor guy I had the affair with didn't know it was a revenge thing, and he wanted me to be with him and leave my husband. And they actually met, and I had to choose right there on the spot. It's unbelievable. And they were both standing there, and I chose my husband. And the other guy was like devastated. He really thought I was going to choose him. So I form strong attachments to people, but I'm able to break those attachments. And in my lifetime so far, the other person doesn't seem to be able to break the attachment. They
And
can't let
that's
you
how
go.
that's how a cord can work. Yes. It's like a
Yeah,
lasso to you,
yeah,
the other
yeah,
person.
yeah. And it's like once through my life, I can't get rid of them.
Yeah. So we are here to let that cord snap. The second part of this, there are actually two. The other
Uh-huh.
part was a contract from one lifetime ago. So I look back, and the one lifetime ago, the past life was where you were a husband and didn't speak to your wife.
And she died.
So
Yeah.
but the soulmate contract didn't come up before, but it came up this time. And so essentially what that means is like your souls made a contract to be together, even though you didn't want to speak to her. Um,
Are we talking about my past life?
yeah, the past life,
Hmm.
past ones. You definitely had the past life that we had talked about before, where you were a male and there was a female and you did not speak with her. You withheld communication. So her soul actually attached to you kind of to like remind you and make it so that
She's
to make
attached to
you
me
feels
now.
like
She's attached to me in my present life.
she was, we let her go, but
Oh,
this soul
that's the one
pattern
we
came
let
again.
go. Okay, we had two that we let go. I remember.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
she,
So let her go, but the contract came up. So a lot of times, like if it's not ready to be seen, then the pattern doesn't come up. So I checked back. I was like, okay. So this soul contract, the soulmate contract, she it was a contract you made to someone you couldn't speak to, which was her. So you're like, I'm your soulmate, even though I won't talk to you because I'm punishing you and I'm gonna, give you the silent treatment.
yeah.
So it creates situations where you create relationships where anger and blocked communication thrive.
Yeah.
And what came is this person, what I got was from the person in this situation is they're saying, you're not listening to me. You aren't listening. You're not really, you think you hear, but you hear what you want to hear. So that's this person's like what they're perceiving.
We got rid of her though, right? She's gone.
Right. But I'm talking about the real life person right now, the person
Oh,
in your life mad at
okay.
you.
She is saying, I'm not hearing
Person
her.
in your life right now, the energy coming from her is you're not listening to me. You think you're listening, but you're not really.
Uh-huh.
It's like you hear, but you're not listening, or you only hear what you want to hear. So,
Makes sense.
but this is your guide said that there's a sorry coming from you to her. And it's not a sorry like, I'm sorry you feel this way. It's not that kind. I don't know what it's for, but
Yeah.
there's a deeply embedded karmic loop of unacknowledged communication and emotional invalidation.
Huh.
So the subconscious habit or belief of withholding authentic expression when conflict arises. So if
Well,
there's an emotionally charged situation,
yeah.
authentic expression gets stifled.
Yeah.
So the family member feels unheard, unseen, or emotionally dismissed. Yeah, the obstruction of personal power and your voice and agency, the emotionally charged situations, it blocks your ability to engage and clearly and confidently communicate when things become emotionally charged.
Huh. Well, that
So there's
sort of
acknowledge.
happened because when she was upset and yelling and everything, I did not react. And then I got up and left the room.
That's it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that would be what you're saying. And um, when I talked about the bond with her father, she feels, because she's expressed this, she feels that I control him. that he doesn't have his own will, that anything he does is because I made him do
Well,
it.
that's not the person who accused you of stuff. I'm talking about the person who won't let you see the other
Oh,
person.
oh, her. And okay. And what are we saying about her now that I know who you're talking about?
Yeah. So with her, she's the one that is feeling like you're not listening.
Well,
And your guides they told me there's a sorry coming from you, but it's not a sorry if I did this. Like there's a part you have to fully own. There's a part you have to fully own, and it's like a true apology for your part. Because sorry's coming. Sorry if I hurt you, or sorry if you didn't feel. It's none of those. It's not that. It is something like this is this was my part and I fully acknowledge it. And that's where the sorry has to come from.
what if I don't see the part? What if I can't see that I had any part in the way she acted?
You're going to have to look at your guides, because we always have some part, because we create the experiences around us. So
Yeah,
there's something.
I gotta sit on that one for a while.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to just quietly meditate and see what comes to me because, yeah, I don't know what that's about. Huh. Okay. All right. So I got a lot of stuff going on in there,
Yeah.
a lot of emotions. Yeah.
A lot of emotions and a lot of family. So it comes up around family, communication, boundaries, and repeating past things.
Yeah. That boundary thing that's a subject all the time. And, you know, um, the girls used to say, you have no boundaries. And then, well, I didn't realize what they meant at first. It took me a while to realize what they were talking about. And so I learned to give them space a lot of times where I would have gotten involved. But so I, it's a thing where, I take care of my husband, I'm a caretaker. I brought that up. And I was overwhelmed. I hadn't had a break. I do have chronic depression and an anxiety disorder bordering on PTSD. And I think I had a mental breakdown because, because just out of the blue, I was going to sell my house and move in with this daughter who had said, when the time comes and her father is really bad, we could move in with her. And it was all set up. We had the room set up. We had the two reclining beds in there. We had our two recliners. We had it all set up for when the time came. And I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. But she did not resist it. She didn't say, well, why don't you just come for a visit and relax and see what happens. She was like, yeah, come. She was like encouraging me. And then when I got there, all these things happened. Like when you're making stew and you're putting stuff in the pot, and it starts to boil over, there was situation with her boyfriend, a legal thing that she was trying to help him with. She had a health problem that was getting worse. His daughter was there and she had emotional stuff that she had to work through. And then my granddaughter showed up like a hurricane and she wanted to do fun stuff and nobody wanted to do fun stuff. We were all in the middle of doing very serious things, or in my case, just wanting to rest. And she went off and did something fun. But when she came back, she was angry because she felt judged. I think that I was judging her, because I can, how I feel without me saying anything, just my body posture, whatever. My husband tells me that all the time. So, okay, I'm angry because you went off and did something. Yes, but whoa. So I got attacked by her first, and then the other one, and it was like, what's going on? I came up here to get help, solace, fortitude. And I had to come back home and put my life back together. I had a really, really crazy month or two, Erin, upheaval, a lot of upheaval. And then because of that, the people that were in it and around it are upset. And I think part of the reason they're upset is because they couldn't come through on promises they made. Because I appeared too early. You know what I'm saying? They promised me something, but they didn't expect me to ask for it yet. So that upset the whole apple cart. Oh my gosh. So I don't know how long it'll take to write it, but I did send an I'm sorry text to my daughter, my stepdaughter, but I didn't send one to my granddaughter because I can't find anywhere where I had any part to be sorry for, you know? So I'll have to work on that.
Yep. And it's not about her being upset. There's something.
There is something. There's so much stuff. What were you going to say? Maybe what?
But, it's that you couldn't do the things with her that she wanted to do. Yeah, I'm really sorry that things were so traumatic. I couldn't spend better time with you.
That's a good one.
Because that's not her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. I could do something with that. Yeah. Because that's
what came to me.
Yeah, that was true.
What was that?
That's true.
Yeah.
Things were so traumatic that I couldn't spend time. Oh my gosh. But then you have a situation too when other family members are afraid to talk to you because they don't want to appear like they're taking sides. So I said to my husband, I feel like I'm on an iceberg in the middle of the ocean. Like it's very lonely out here, you know. So he usually doesn't say anything, but he sent a text to his daughter and he didn't get an answer. So we'll see. We shall see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said I don't know how long this would take, what I got was not long. Not as long as you think. I feel like there's some sort of smoothing over.
Yeah. Yeah. Like even if they don't say it out loud, they might realize what their part was and that maybe it was a major part in what happened, you know? I don't know, but
Yeah.
Wow. There's so
There's
much,
nothing we can do about that.
not only having like a recent past and you have stuff from your grandmother and your great grandfather, whatever, but to have more than one life and have stuff that's unresolved. Whoa, that's going to take a lot of work.
The human experience is exhausting.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And, I don't know, the quote is something like a life unlived is not worth living. So, I mean, you have to take risks and you have to follow your path and you have to walk in your own truth, even if it hurts people. But like, I'm very outspoken. I mean, I have no problem talking about anything with anybody. What upsets me is when they will not talk to you. The silence. That's
Mhm.
my that's my Achilles heel. Mhm. I'd rather stand there and argue with you than you have to cut me off and not talk to me. Does that make sense with my energy patterns?
Well, yes, in that past life where you were the one doing the not talking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
got it.
And
Yep, you're
that's
working through it.
there's the karma,
Yep,
right?
that's the
Karma
card.
is now people not talking to me. And you said, even though it's unjustified karma, that fits now that I think about it, right? Unjustified karma. So that guy didn't talk when he should have. And the karma is people not talking to me, and it's unjustified. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that feels right. That
yeah.
feels,
So there's definitely something that you did. There was a choice made. Like there's always a choice that was made that causes the karma. But then when we hold on to it as if it was something like, oh, definitely my fault. There was some choice and some action that happened, but
mhm,
the karma that attached to it wasn't deserved.
yeah. I feel that in my bones. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it was
So we
like
let that.
it's like you were there. That's exactly that's exactly right. So, do you want to talk about clearing my house and how that's done? We have a few minutes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about
clearing
that.
your.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you mean do like a karmic, or I guess an energetic reading on your house.
yeah, and tell people like I think you said you did one for yourself in your house.
Hmm.
And what
I
did you
did,
do?
yeah.
And what did you do
I did a
specifically
reading on my
for?
house.
Yeah,
Looking for things like, was this at any point a burial ground or a battleground? Like, was there violence that happened in this area or something else? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, but those can leave energetic statements. But then also, probably unless you built your house and you're the only ones that ever lived in it, there's probably been other people in and out.
yeah.
My house was built in the 70s and it was a rental for a while. So there's a lot of stuff, but just also looking, are there any portals? Like, are there any open or thin spaces in the protection of this house where things can come through? And there was a lot in my house.
Yeah.
So close those.
So how
And
would you,
then some,
you weren't actually here in my house? How can you feel that? You just get
uh,
the
yeah,
energy.
same way I can do it when I'm not sitting with you. So I can connect to it, but it's also connected like through you.
Okay.
So I couldn't clear a space for somebody that didn't own what they were at. So if they're like, oh, my, I don't know, that gas station is weird. Can you clear it? Well, no, only if the owner of the gas station or the person
Yeah.
who's responsible for it.
Well,
So,
we're only the second couple that lived here. The first couple moved in when it was built in 1975, and we bought it from the widow. So see if you can,
oh,
yeah, see if you can feel anything. And they're
yeah,
both dead. Yeah. So what will you
yeah.
do?
So
Sit chat and tell me next time, or
yes, yep, I'll do a write up.
yeah.
Yeah, because you have to give me your address too, or I won't know where you are. So you don't want to
Oh,
do that on.
no, I'll do it after the meeting, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this was interesting. Like at first it was like, okay. But then you really, the situation I'm in now, like the unjustified karma and a lot of things that you said, like really fit. So if I do nothing else but think about what you said tonight, I think it's going to help me in the present moment. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, I was going to say that I delete from your soul's memory all negative, unjustified karma that no longer serves your divine self-expression. Retain all learning experiences while acknowledging them as complete on all levels.
Thank you. So that's like the what would you call it? Closing
That's
prayer,
when, yeah, that's a clearing. Yeah.
clearing. That's the
Clearing
clear.
statement, clearing prayer.
Yeah, good. Yes, that's wonderful. Okay, the air is clear. Let's see if I can now make the air clear with the people around me. I
Yes.
think I will. I think I will. So next time, we'll talk about what you found when you were clearing my house, and what else do you think is on the list that you want to talk about? Does anything come to mind?
Oh, I think we should check in with your spirit guides again.
Okay, sounds good. So I'll check in on our spirit guides and clear my house.
Yes.
All right, darling. You have a lot of work with me. I'm a package. It's your
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Okay, everybody. I hope you got something out of that, because it was very interesting to me, especially about having unjustified karma. I never thought of that before. That's really something. So thanks, Erin, for being here with me. And we'll see everybody soon with some more spirit work. How's that?
Yeah, that
All
sounds
right.
good.
Okay. All right, everyone. Sit and feel your spirits.